All right, so today this call has been inspired by me talking to um, a couple guys privately that wanted to get somewhere with trading and looking at, or trying to figure out a way for them to get from where they are right now to where they want to go. Um, Maybe some coaching or something like that, but something became very, very clear that is, for logical reasons, but um, is not very, is not that straightforward to realize it. But anywhere, like in any aspect in your life, if you want to go from A to B, there are certain steps that need to be there, right? That's a start, and then we apply it to trading, and then we go through some statistics or some numbers to actually realize what we're talking about, right? So I've been talking to multiple people, and they were saying the same exact thing, or had the same exact view on trading. And that goes back into our calls about market theory and how the market works. And really what it is we just have people that trade. We have retail traders and we have institutional traders. Retail traders are the sheep. Institutional traders are the ones that are making money. The sheep are there literally to give out money, right? And you just keep them in the market, but giving them hopes, euphoria, just making it entertaining, like a casino. So rather than go in there to make money consistently, they go there to be entertained, and they might not know it, but that's the case, right? So that's the underlying idea of it, right? That's the underlying structure of the market. There is a constant cash flow from sheep to institutional traders, right? From retail traders to institutional traders. So where retail traders just trade how they feel like, institutional traders do something like this, right? Where it's a live, where this is a live account, a live bundle that's been trading for I don't know how long. And you can rely on the fact that, see the equity curve, other than this big bump up because of Solana and Phantom right now, it's an incredibly stable line, right? And that's very, very important, right? And because it's a stable line like this, you can predict how much money you're going to make. So how do we make sure that we achieve, at least in trading, right? This is obviously specific to trading, but how do we make sure that we achieve the goal that we want to achieve? And this has been, when I started, right, I wanted to, make a shit ton of money with trading as fast as possible, probably like any other person, right? So what that led to was, obviously learning and just grinding and just doing it 14 hours a day, that's the bare minimum, right? But then, and it was going well. We had some great days. We had some great performances. But because I didn't understand how wealth is generated in the market, you would always lose it. Always lose it. It was a rule that you would lose it, right? And that is, for example, right, in a Discord Cypher, he's a great trader. He's a pretty good trader. He has a lot of wins in a day, then a few losses. But pattern-wise, I've known him not for too long, but pattern-wise, just looking at him, right? Because every time he's like, okay, I made this trade, I made this many percent, I made this many percent, and every time I just answer, cool, nice, and I just wait. And the pattern is that every 2 days he blows the account. Every 2 days, right? So I mean, that's obviously not sustainable. Well, it is. It's a sustainable way of you losing money and staying poor, right? But there's a good part, which is the fact of, which is, being able to catch trades and make money off in trades. That's great. But the bad part is, the horrible management of your account on your trades. And because of that, you will never make money if you don't change that aspect, right? The good part is that the first part, catching the right trades and trading the right trades, that is something that every single one of you guys will be able to do in this Discord, because we find a strategy, we build a strategy, we backtest the strategy, and at the point where you're, when you backtest it like 50 trades, you will be able to spot profitable trades. You will, that's a fact. It has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with, genius or being super smart. It has nothing to do with that. It's simple. It's very, very simple. In fact, when I look at people, the ones with slightly, slightly smarter people struggle sometimes more because they're overcomplicating things. And the principle is simple, right? The trick is to not look or ignore all the noise, but focusing on the small, simple things, right? So how do we achieve our goal? Number one is be realistic with your goal. And with that, I don't mean dream small. Dream big. Dream as big as you can. That's not dream as big as you can. The realistic part is how to get there, right? You need a realistic plan on how to get there. Let me give you an example. Saifa, right? He wants to be a professional trader. He wants to get funded, with 100 grand, 500 grand, and just, trade like that, which is great. And he can absolutely do that as like any of you guys, right? Problem is that his goal to get there was to make 50% a day. And in his head, if he made 50% a day, then he would, have money at some point pretty quickly, right? And for him, it was 50% a day was a conservative number, right? So that's the idea. Now the problem is reality has a say, and in reality, whatever number, whatever percentage you are aiming for in a day, that percentage you can also lose in a day. When his goal was to get 50%, that means that he can lose in a day 50%, which means that, if he starts with $1,000 and he has a bad first day, or let's say he had a good first day, he has $1,500, but then he has a bad second day and he lost 50% of his account. So now he's at $750. So now, in order to get where he was the day before, he needs to make 100% on his account, right? Because he has half the buying power that he had before. So what he has to do now is over leverage. And as he over leverages, he will lose more. And it just goes into a death spiral and the account dies. And this is the reality of basically every person I see trying to build up an account. It's an unrealistic goal. But it's not unrealistic to make a lot of money in a short time. The problem is the misinformation or the lack of information of how compounding works in the first place, right? Because why would I ever risk 50% of my account every single day? That means that if I hustled 14 hours a day for a year, and then day one on year two, I still have a chance of losing 50% of whatever I made up until that point. That means that if I traded for 1 year with 50%, with risking 50%, then day one, year two, I would be risking every single day. I would be risking half year, 6 months of my work is how much I would be risking every single day. That is insane. That's literally you. It's not you shooting yourself in the foot. It's you shooting yourself in the face with a shotgun. You know, like it does not make sense, right? Luckily, there's a very easy fix for that. And that is doing like 2 simple equations, right? So if you make, 50% we established, 50%, risking 50% a day is not sustainable. If you risk 50% a day, then the chance that you will have two losing days, 50% losing days in a row is relatively high. Even if it's a 10% chance, then once every 10 days you have that. So like, you know, it's like you losing everything, right? So that does not make sense. However, what if we decrease that number a bit? What if we do 10% a day, right? And you guys will see where I'm coming from if you read the chat yesterday in the Discord. But what if you do 10% a day? Then, you know, 2 losing days in a row, hey, that's 22 max losing days in a row, by the way. Hey, I mean, I lost 20% of my account, like that's fine, right? So now I'm not risking that much, but you know, I make 10% a day. Well, how does 10% a day look like? Well, we can literally just go calculator later, and let's see. So if we do 10% a day for say 60 days, right? Which is like the minimum time span you should look at anything in trading. Like you will be alive within 2 months. So you should care about the amount of money you have 2 months from now. It's simple, right? So 1.1 to the power of 60, right? That's how you calculate 10% compounding over 60 days. Is 304x. 304x. So if you started with $1,000, then 60 days from now, on January 16th, 2024, you would have $300,000. All you did was 10% a day, right? So it's still a lot of money, but you're not risking 50% a day. You're not risking half of your work since every single day, which is just crazy, right? Because it will happen. That's just statistics. Like it has nothing to do with your skill, right? And that's the point. Like, yes, skill is one thing, but you know, we want to eliminate chance from the game. We want to make sure that whatever happens, this line is going to continue growing the same pace. That's our job, right? So I mean, like this is a dashboard, but you know, when you look at your trading account, this is what you want, right? And this is you know, no leverage, but it's still compounding. So this is a log chart, so you don't see it, but you know, as you compound, the curve would be, you know, exponentially up. So that's how this looks like. Now, you know, 2 months from now, when you have 300 grand and you do the same thing again, right? Only risking 10%, only making 10% in a day. If you do that, well, now you're trading with $300,000 and not with $1,000. So if you compound that another, you know, 1.1 to the power of 60, right? Then you get to 92 or 93 million dollars, right? So the problem, my point, and that's over 120 days. $100 million over 120 days, you know, essentially averaging like what, like 700K a day, you know, if you average that out. Yeah, not bad, right? So my point is, the money's there, right? The money's there. All you need to do is this. All you need to do is the 1.1. If you do the 1.1 every single day for 120 days, you are filthy rich. Like that is what is between you and being so rich you have no idea what to do with the money, It's a 1.1. It's 10% a day. That's it. Proven with math, right? It's 1.1. It's 10%. So why, now my question to you, why isn't your sole focus to make sure that you make 10% a day? Why is that not your sole focus, right? You can make even 5%, you can make 3% a day, right? It doesn't matter, but that is where the focus should be. It should not be, can I milk this trade to the maximum? No one cares. The trade doesn't care about you. The trade doesn't know who you are, right? What you want, you need to be clear when you're set goals in trading. You need to be clear what you want out of the market so you can get it. If you don't know what you want, if you just say money, well, then you're going to lose everything. You need to know clearly what you want out of the market. You set a plan saying, okay, I want to make 10% a day, for example. And this is still very, very aggressive. As you can see, still very aggressive, not sustainable at all. But let's just assume that, that's your aggressive goal. So all you do is you go to the market and you make 10% a day and then you leave. And you do that every day. And if you have the discipline to do that, within 120 days, you will have a lot of money. Right? That's it. That's how simple it is. So the problem is, or like the problem we're trying to solve, right? The thing that we want to focus on is like the compounding, the math. Hey, the physical laws are here. We don't have to focus on that. All we need to focus on is making this 1.1. How do we make the 1.1? We understand the market. We set up a strategy. We backtest the strategy so it's in our muscle memory, and then we trade it. And we trade it with a clear purpose in mind, which is to make 10% a day. So how do we make the 10% a day? Well, we look at the strategy. How often does our strategy trade, right? Can we trade it multiple times a day, or do we trade it like once a week? If we trade it like once a week, then obviously the 10% a day needs to be averaged out, right? So if I want to make 10% a day, but I have one trade per week, then that trade should make up for all the amount within the 10% a day. So that needs to be a larger trade, right? Or maybe you can do multiple coins, maybe you can look at 5 coins at the same time, and then your one trade, or 7 coins at the same time, all trading once a week, so you average out trading once a day, things like that. But you analyze the strategy, and as you analyze the strategy, you understand it, and then when you trade it, then you know exactly what's going on, right? When you trade it, it's in your muscle memory, and during live trading, you're comfortable with it. You don't have to think about anything that's going on in the strategy, so you can, keep the plan going and focus on the fact that you want to make 10% a day, right? And by the way, any strategy that you trade on a 15-minute, 3-minute will have plenty of trades, especially when you look at multiple coins, right? I'm on Forex right now, but if you look at multiple coins, you will have plenty of trades in a day, right? So there's enough to be made. There's 10% to be made all day, By the way, I still have this MA cross here. I really like the strategy. I haven't backtested more. Maybe we can backtest like 1 to 2 trades today on this call, because I do really like it. It's very, very interesting to me, and it seems to be working pretty well. So that's definitely a strategy that I'll be looking at more, and possibly when it's actually backtested and makes sense, possibly added into the dashboards. Which, by the way, making sure setting everything up so there's going to be live signals for this. And also for the separate strategies. So right. Number 1 is be realistic with your goal, right? This does not mean dream small, dream as big as you can, but make a realistic plan to get there, right? Make a clear and defined plan, And that plan needs to have very specific detail. So whenever I ask what your plan is and I ask follow-up questions, you need to be able to answer every single one of those follow-up questions, right? It needs to be planned out in detail, right? I want to make 10% a day. Okay, well, first of all, I want to make 6 figures in the next 2 months. That's my goal. All right, that's my goal. So how do I do that? Well, if I make 10% a day, I'll get there. Perfect. How do I make 10% a day? Okay, well, I have this strategy. I have this MA Cross strategy. I can trade it on a 3, 5, 15 minute with confirmations. I've backtested it with like 50 trades, so I know that it works and I know exactly how to behave with that strategy. I can trade that strategy on 3 coins because I've backtested 3 coins and all of them are working. So every day from random times from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I will sit on my laptop and I will trade this, and I will try to get 3 to 4 trades in that time, and that should average to around 10 to 15% a day, and that's what I'll be doing for 60 days. And if I do that for 60 days, then I will make money. Then I will have 6 figures. Okay, great. That's a great plan. How do you make sure that you will stay consistent with it? Well, I plan out my day. I made sure that in this time I can trade uninterrupted, and I can do this every single day. And since I will do it every single day, I will get better every single day. And by the time those 60 days pass, first of all, I will have hit, even if it's just a fraction of the 6 figures, that's a great win. I will have traded, 4 hours per day for 60 days, right? So I will have hundreds of hours of live trading under my belt. So I will be a very skilled trader, and I'll be able to then, take that money, ball out if you want to, or, I can take that skill, I can take that history of me trading and present it and get funded pretty much instantly when you do that. And with that funded account, I will now trade, a 500K account. And that 500K account, I can do the same exact thing what I've been doing now, but, my returns are much, much higher. And I can just do this for as long as I want. And, then you can just go from there, automate it. But this is a realistic plan. It is short, right? It's 60 days. So, are you able to, trade your 4 hours a day and make 10%, 15% a day right away? Probably not. What do you need in order to get there? Backtest. If you backtest 50 trades, if you did what I just said with the preparation, backtested 50 trades on 3 different coins, I know that on the 3, 5, 15 minute, I can trade it. If you did that, if you backtested that, then you can sit down and trade live for 4 hours and it will go well. You just didn't do the preparation before. If you do that preparation, it will go well. So number 1 is we need to set your goal. Number 2 is we need to make a definite plan on how to get to that goal, a definite realistic plan on how to get to that goal, right? We did like a boilerplate plan right now. To get to the starting point of the plan, you need to backtest the trades, right? So you backtest your strategy, you get enough data in order to be able to confidently sit down and trade for 4 hours a day. And as you do that and trade for 4 hours a day, you do that consistently every single day, your goal is to make 10% a day, and you will grow your account by the laws of nature, right? Literally, like just physics and math, you will grow the account to 6 figures in 60 days. Right? And this is a realistic thing. Like, I want you to know that this is a possibility. You just need to do the preparation beforehand. That's why I'm talking about the theory and the understanding of it, why it's so incredibly important. Because if you don't understand that, you don't even understand why you're doing that plan, or what a plan is, or how the plan works, or how you can even execute on that plan, right? All it takes is have a clear, definite plan, be realistic about it, and then executing that plan every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter if you're sad, angry, happy, hungry, tired. You make sure that every single day you start trading and you're physically in the shape of being able to trade. That's your responsibility. And if you do that, you will have 6 figures afterwards, after 60 days. The thing is that no one has the, discipline and or understanding, or, a realistic worldview where they can do this consistently. Like, that's the key. Like, consistency is key. And I am, on a silver platter showing you right now how exactly it is the key in order to be successful in anything, really. But right now we're talking about trading and being successful there, right? So it is very, very important to have the plan and execute it. And many people make the mistake of not having the plan, right? But then, some geniuses realize that they need to have a plan, right? Congratulations, you're right. So, but then the plan that they set is unrealistic. The plan does not have anything to do with reality, and you cannot, you show me mathematically how you can make 50% a day and not lose your account. Like, your upside is the same as your downside, in general. It depends on your risk to reward, unless you have a set risk to reward limits, but that would limit you as well, right? Rule of thumb, you lose what you make. Like, best case, net zero, that's a good case. So if you try to make 50% a day, like, one day when you lose 50% is already gonna kill you. 2 days, you're trading with 25% of your accounts, and you make it back. Like, you're shooting yourself, everywhere. It does not make sense, right? So even when people have a plan, the plan is unrealistic. And with realistic, I mean not, is that possible in theory? With realistic, I mean I have a detailed, granular, step-by-step plan of actions that I will execute every single day. And when I do that, the result of this cannot be anything but my desired outcome. That is a specific plan. And people fail to be able, people don't have the skill of planning. This is what real planning means. A couple months ago, I was in Colombia with one client for software development. And it was this group of people, right? They had, all of them had successful businesses, every single one of them a millionaire. They were 6 or 7 people, and they were mostly in the same industry, but every single one of them had something different, had something else. And within the industry, and then there were some people that had completely different industries. All of them multimillionaires. We had this mansion on a lake next to Medellin, driving with jet skis and just enjoying life. And we were talking about business. 2 things. So first of all, just interesting, right? But these people were on it, they were fully business mode constantly. Them chilling in a jacuzzi, full business. And it's not talking about it or fantasizing. No, my brain would hurt after 1 hour of sitting with them, because it's so detailed, and there was just so much calculation going on, right? But there was this one guy, let's just call him Mike. And this one guy, I didn't like him at first, and he was the one, I just came in, and they loved me, but this one guy, he was the only one that was skeptical about me. And this guy, whatever idea or whatever plan we threw out, this guy would always shit on it, right? And I was like, dude, like, what's this guy's problem? Like, and I was like annoyed by him. But then, a couple days passed. We did what we did every single day. And then I realized that this guy is not shitting on plans. He's asking questions. He's asking specific questions. And this guy was the perfect control to any plan, because you had a group of a bunch of people, super smart people, rich people. They were doing great in whatever they're doing, and we were just planning something out, and all of them had ideas, all of them had past experiences, contacts. Like it was great. Like if we wanted to do something, like we just need to do like this one software, would just take like so long, and this one guy just picks up his phone, calls someone, he's like, yeah, it's gonna be done, no problem, like stuff like that. But besides the point. So they were brainstorming, building and plan together. And then this one guy, Mike, right, he would always ask hard questions to the plan. And we knew that the plan was good when Mike didn't have a question anymore. And that would mean that every detail that most people, us, didn't want to think about because it's something negative or it's some confirmation that the plan might not work, right? And if you have a plan, you're all happy and you want it to work, you're strictly biased for the plan to work, right? You need a mic, right? And if you don't have a mic, you need to be the mic for yourself. So whenever, again, you split yourself in two, right? You have the idea, the building, but then you have the analysis part that's like, hey, is what we're doing actually logical? Is it actually realistic? How do we make sure? Okay, well, we just need to ask questions, and those questions need to have answers and solutions. And if those questions don't have answers and solutions, then that plan has some voids, right? And that plan might have voids if, first of all, maybe it just hasn't been talked about, but more likely the basis of the plan might not be right in the first place. So those voids can, clear out or show bigger voids, and that can show that the plan wasn't good in the first place. And we're all scared of that when we're planning, so we don't want to ask those questions. But again, success is hidden on the other side of what people don't want to do, right? You take your lazy Joe retail trader. What is he never going to do? He's never going to backtest. He's never going to make a plan. He's never going to try and break the plan, right? When we have our strategies, this one, for example, the ETH strategy, right? This is just, those are just, additions or like bundles of our strategies. So this strategy, the amount of times we tried to break the strategy is insane. Like hundreds of times we tried to break it, and most times, especially at the beginning, we did break it, meaning that we asked questions that we did not know the answer to, and when we found out the answer, we found out that the entire thing was flawed from its roots. And we had to do it again, and we had to do it again. But what happens when you ask 100 questions and your 100th question does have an answer to it, and you cannot find any other questions? What's the result of that? The result of that is a clear plan that can do nothing but achieve the desired outcome. That is the point. And people fail in doing that drastically. So the point why I always talk about backtesting, why I talk about understanding the theories, is because we need to build this plan. And then once the plan is built, we need to execute that plan and be disciplined about it for at least 60 days. Now, a bunch of things happen within those 60 days. First of all, you will get so much better in trading. It's not even comparable. Like you will be a monster in trading. number one. Number two, your strategy will have improved like 1,000 times. So the strategy that you're trading with, in 60 days is going to be so much better than the one that you have right now. Number three, you will have compounded your account and you're trading with 6 figures, meaning that, if you start with $1,000 and you're trading with $100,000, $200,000, then the effect of your time and energy into the market is 100x to 200x. So you're leveraging your time to get the money out much more. And after doing it every day for 60 days, you've built a habit, a psychological habit to keep doing that every single day, which will then further improve and then further exponentially, make more money and make you a better trader. So, and this all happens, like I'm literally describing your dream, or at least to some of your people, your dream life, and everything you need to do to get there is make a plan and stick to it. Like that's the secret. The secret is it sucks. The secret is in those 60 days you will be literally depressed because your body and mind are fighting you to do the disciplined thing. But if you just do it and show up every single day, that is the clear outcome that you will have. That's the thing that you need to do. That's it. It's knowledge, right? So the knowledge that, most people don't have, which is something that I'm conveying to you every single day, right? Which is understanding the market, how the market works, how you can be consistent, strategies that work for you, right? So taking that knowledge, building a sophisticated plan because you have that knowledge, and then adding in the discipline and sticking to it. And as you do that, the outcome will be inevitable. All you need to do is consistency on your part, meaning showing up every single day, even when it sucks. And guess what? Most of the days, it's gonna suck. And utilizing the knowledge that can give you a competitive edge in building the plan in the first place, which is what we're covering here, right? So that is the point. And that is how you can get from where you are right now to where you want to be, and increase the probability of that happening by so many orders of magnitude you don't even know. So, and really, this is actually everything that I want to say on this call, because it's so important to understand this. And let's just do that. Just hear it out, maybe listen to it again, and engrave it in your brain, because that's what we're going to do now. We're going to make a clear plan, and then we're going to stick to it for 60 days. And after those 60 days, we want your dreams to become a reality, right? So that's the plan right now. And what you need to do is do this step number 1, which is, guess what? Gonna suck, which is backtesting the trades. I learned about this strategy so much already because I did 2 trades. The minimum to, see, okay, does it work, does not work, is 20 trades, right? On average, you're probably gonna do like 5 trades an hour, right? So if you want to do 20 trades, that's 4 hours, right? Again, just be realistic about it. That's 4 hours. So 4 hours of your time needs to go into this. You have 4 hours, maybe not in 1 day, but maybe in 2 days, maybe in 3 days, 4 days. Like, don't watch Netflix, don't binge watch Netflix for 10 hours, but backtest this shit, right? Just do it for 2 days. And the returns, like the returns of your time spent on Netflix compared to the returns of your time spent on here is obviously not comparable, because the time they spent on here will directly leverage your plan, and the direct outcome of that will be trading with six figures 60 days from now. So, what's better, right? So, and I hope this makes sense, right? And it's not something like it's not rocket science, right? It's pretty straightforward. The hard part is to stay consistent, also physically and mentally. So a big part of what we will need to do in the Discord is to keep ourselves accountable. How do we do that? Every single day. Okay, so first of all, everyone that wants to do this, they just call it the 60-day challenge, right? You need to let me know. So you need to, like, Moonwalk will set something up where they sign up for it, right? And you need to let me know. And then once we're there, we'll do the goals, we'll do the backtesting, we'll do all of that. And then us collectively, every single person there, including me, we need to hold each other accountable every single day. Meaning that every single day, we need to post a to-do list, say exactly what we're going to do, and then do everything in that to-do list. And track if other people did it. And if other people didn't do it, then check on them. Make sure they're fine. Help them. Motivate them. Right? Whatever it takes. So your job is to spend also a lot of time and energy helping other people in the group that do the challenge to stay consistent. And if we do that, right, if we make sure that we hold each other accountable and, do it together, then within, like, after those 60 days, we will literally generate, like, depending on how many people do it, but we will literally generate like millions of dollars, right? If enough people do it. So that is something that we'll be focusing a lot in the Discord, and that's really the plan, right? Like that's like, why do you trade? Why are you on this call right now, right? You want to make money in the market. Okay, great. That's a very vague plan. Let's make it a concrete plan, a definite plan, make exact steps of how to get to that plan and execute that plan. Why not, right? Why do you want to waste your time? Just do it. If you want to make money in the market, do it. This is what's needed. Have the discipline, sit down and do it. And then after 60 days, you'll be where you want to be, right? So that's the plan, right? So yeah, that's all I'm gonna talk about today. I hope it made sense. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but this is what we're gonna do. Moonwalk will set up some kind of sign up where you guys can sign up, do to the 60, say just call it 60-day challenge, right? And then everyone that's going to be in there will be a group, and we go from step 1, which is defining the goal, to defining the plan, to defining the strategy, to backtesting the strategy, and then starting to execute on the strategy, and plan out in your day how much you need to trade, or how often you need to trade, depending on your strategy and your goal, right? Plan it out, set it up in your day, make it so it works for you, and then hold you accountable every single day for 60 days to do that. And once you go through this funnel or process, you will be a completely different person after those 60 days in many, many aspects, financially and mentally, right? So, yeah, that's the idea. If you guys have any questions, let me know right now. Otherwise, I'll go back to coding to set up the signals and the dashboard for you guys. All right, I'll post this. Cool, perfect, man. I'll post this video on YouTube for other people to watch it too, which is so you know, other people know what's going on. I'll do it pretty quickly, and other than that, starting tomorrow we'll be more technical in our calls and more specific with our trading, and we'll do more daily trades as well, stuff like that. I think this part of the theory, this was the most important part, and then once we do once we set up our plans, then we just need to execute on them. So we'll be more technical and do more trading. So yeah, that's that. And if you have any questions, let me know. Alex, thanks for joining. I'm just ending the call. And yeah, I'll see you in the Discord.